and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you so much for joining me again for another timeless pick a card, the first one of the new year, 2022, and we're also entering a new moon phase, so there's a lot of new energy during this reading. It is timeless though, so if you're watching at a later time, again, that's just the energy that you're in right now within this recording. So anyway, this pick a card is all about what big upcoming changes are headed your way. What big unexpected changes are being manifested right now for you. So I have three different piles for you. Pile one is the rose quartz. Get a good look at that. Pile one, rose quartz stone. Pile two is going to be blue kyanite. Again, that's the blue kyanite. And then finally, pile three is going to be the green calcite. So fairly large stones this time. Hopefully enjoy them. So again, I'll meet you at your pile. You could select your pile down below in the description box intuitively. At this point, you could pause the video if you need more time, but I'm going to go ahead and meet you at your reading. See you there. Okay, so let's actually start. Hi, pile one with the rose quartz stone. If you chose the stone, this is for you. Again, this is a general reading for collective. If you want something a little bit more in-depth to you and more relevant to you, more detailed, you could book a personal reading in the description box below. So let's see what big upcoming changes or big changes are coming for pile one. Actually, I have three cards. Four cards. So let's take those. They're all face down, so I don't really know what they are. And then I'm going to take four more as clarifiers right straight away. Uh-oh. So let's see. One card fell out, and I will mention that later. So the first card that we have for big upcoming changes is the Three of Swords. With this, I wouldn't be surprised if you're moving really away from this sort of energy. You'll notice the eye is there, so there's kind of this wisdom that's coming forth through that. Usually with the how do you say, when there's that arrow coming through the eye, it usually indicates kind of an inability to see things clearly. So that might have been a problem in the past, but I'll go so far as to say that you're going to be stepping out of that, fairly soon, which is nice. And wisdom is coming through strongly, so what unexpected shit. I know this is scary. I know Three of Swords is a scary card to be seeing straight away. Actually, I'm going to clarify it now because the clarifying card for this fell out. So let's just see what that's about. And that's the Eight of Swords. So you're finding wisdom within. And that's how you're going to be able to get out of that Three of Swords energy. It's all about Libra, all about Saturn, so it's kind of like not rushing time. I believe Saturn is known as the Lord of Karma, so it's not really something to be rushed or really fought that hard. So I feel like that's indicating the beginning energy, like where you're sort of starting from. But I think the thing that's shifting is your ability to stay within that energy. And I just feel like you really feel trapped and constricted. But let's see what's coming up. The Lovers. Okay, the very next card is the Lovers card, which is quite a nice change there of pace, I would say. See if this wants to focus. If not, okay. No? Anyway, it's a Lover's card. It's a Lover's card, and really it's all about coming into union with yourself. There we go. There we go. It's not that hard. You get the wings, your heart's growing wings. And it's funny how that sword is outside the heart now. It's not penetrating through anymore. So that yin and yang energy, there's definitely sort of that theme going on. Going from feeling restricted to really quite free. Yeah. So that's what's coming up. That's exciting. So I think part of it is just embracing the way you feel right now. Just feeling it's like a physical heart chakra discomfort, and just stepping within it and just being in it. That's the easiest way to move past it. Yeah. The card clarifying that, I wasn't going to do reversals, but it is in reverse, is the Nine of Pentacles. I think that that's something that you want, that sort of security within yourself. Something you've been after. Stepping into your power, it feels like, and merging two energies within yourself, like the yin and yang energy, I feel is what the Lovers is really about. Not so much, I mean, this is a general reading, so it could be either one, but it feels more like there's been this battle of light and shadow within yourself, and you've been maybe denying full expression of either of those. And in order to get to this place, to this Nine of Pentacles energy, it's kind of a requirement, really, to love all aspects of yourself, so you could stand confident in who you are and gain financial stability. So I think the big change is the way you view yourself, the way you carry yourself. And I think that's going to attract a change in the external world. But really what's changing is within you. So we have the Four of Swords, and then the Six of Pentacles. Interesting, I mentioned Libra. I mean, I'm just saying that because it has the scale in the image of the Six of Pentacles. So I'm just tying that in there. And I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. So you're having, for the main cards, mostly air, yeah? So you have the Three of Swords, the Lovers, the Four of Swords, and Six of Pentacles, yeah? And the Six of Pentacles here feels again like that sense of balance within yourself. But I don't know, it just feels like where you're putting your energy is changing. And you're redirecting those arrows of the Three of Swords in the beginning of the reading. You're redirecting that discomfort here, and it's like, how do I say? Because I could kind of feel it, but I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're being comfortable with the discomfort, and that's allowing you to move forward into new areas that you didn't think you could explore. The clarifying card for the Four of Swords is the Four of Swords. So that's pretty interesting. All right. Lots of dark imagery. Lots of looking within here. And I know it's probably more satisfying to see, oh, love is coming, or oh, you're gonna get the dream job, or oh, all this. But I honestly think there's a lot to this pile in that you have the freedom to discover that power within yourself, which is what this is really about. This is all about wisdom, it feels like, and just knowing that you're able to change the external world by changing your internal world. And I think more so than just manifesting this item or that item, it's stepping into self-mastery. That's your biggest change. And again, the Lover's card is the main energy of this reading. The major arcana here, the only major arcana here, is stepping into the energy of love. It's not an accident that you chose this pile, because you did choose rose quartz. It's about allowing your heart to spread its wings so that you could fly. This is freedom, yeah. Manifesting that power of love into every direction within yourself and in any given moment. So this is true freedom, is what you're after. Is like you're allowing yourself to feel stuck, and just it being stuck forces you to go within yourself, so that you could not find that power, but access it, work with it. And then the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. So Pentacles clarifying Pentacles. I think that for many of you, it's been also about manifesting a nice work-life balance, but where when you do work, it doesn't feel too strenuous. Like, this is something that is going to satisfy you. And so if you are considering leaving a job, maybe you do, I feel, and then you find a community that you feel you could work with in a deep level, that actually, you resonate with the work that these people do. So it's like, finally you're finding your soul tribe here. Finally you're getting in what you've been putting. Like, yeah, you're getting what you've been putting in, and it feels like that hasn't been balanced for probably a very long time, especially if it was spiritual work. It was just like, I'm dedicating so much time to myself, and it hasn't really paid off, and it might even seem like that for a little while longer, as you're forced to really dig deep and access your power, access real unconditional love, and through that love you're able to attract people and situations that bring you joy, and where work doesn't seem so tedious. But I just want to remind you that this card fell on the floor, so it's that card that's sticking out as something you really need to focus on. Unlike this camera, I'm not gonna bother. You saw it earlier. So, integrity, the compass. Come on, there you go. It's very pretty. 34. We have a 3 and a 4 in the reading as well. We have 2 4s, Oh, we have 2 3s and 2 4s. I'll remind you that there is the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles, and then the 4 of Swords twice. So the 4 in here would, for me, indicate that the underlying message is the compass. So that would indicate like that's where you find your compass. That's where you kind of check in to find that stability within the actions that you're taking. Like, am I really on the right path right now? You check in with yourself. Again, 4 of Swords being here twice, so it's really important. And then the 8 of Swords, it looks more like the Hanged Man because the bat is upside down. And it's kind of like the bat is willingly being stuck. Like it's allowing itself to be stuck. And closing its eyes and just taking that time to pause a little bit. The 3 being, in this case, 3 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. It's kind of like creating something. The 3 of Swords is creating the lover's energy. The 3 of Pentacles is creating something physical. And so this is like all about manifesting a new reality. And how you can go about doing that is stepping within yourself and recognizing just the energetic shifts that take place within you. Like knowing what it feels like when you meditate, when it feels good, and then kind of checking in during the day to see if you feel the same way. What actions make you feel like your best self when you're meditating? I think the more often you're able to step into that energy, that really positive, very comforting, peaceful energy in the waking state and during the day, the more aligned you'll be to just the happiest life possible. Yeah, which is what this is all about: self-mastery and loving every aspect of yourself. So yeah, it feels like there might seem like there's a lot of work involved, but the big change is really a shift in your perspective, a shift in your ability to give love unconditionally, and I think that's incredible. So I wish you the best, and thank you so much for watching. If you chose the blue kyanite, this reading is for you. So let's see what are the upcoming changes that you could look forward to. Okay. The big unexpected changes for pile 2. There's 2 cards here. I haven't looked at them yet. First one is the 6 of Pentacles. I had to look at it again because it's kind of dark to see. And then the 6 of Wands. So 2 6s here, indicating really loving energy. They're like the highest aspect of each suit, in my opinion. And having that with Pentacles and Wands is an indication of really celebration, and a good understanding of those elements. So in other words, with Pentacles, and as far as big changes coming, I'll get to that in a second, and of course I'll clarify, but with the 6 of Pentacles, we'll start with that. And you'll notice there's a book, there's a stand with 3 pentacles that are kind of rooted, and then 3 that are, shimmering gold, the stand there, and there's this sense of being okay with giving money, like giving money, giving your time, not with the expectation of getting something in return, but there's that inner knowing that comes with that, and being celebrated and recognized for that. This could be in regards to work, study, a strong sense of study, But as far as big changes go, it's kind of like an awareness of your time. So I feel as though there's a bit more structure in your day, which provides for more freedom to do the things you really want to do, and more resources to do those things as well. So yeah, really coming into your power, really being recognized for, because I feel as though you might have put a lot of work in and it hasn't been recognized yet. And I think giving just giving freely is starting to come back to you at this time. That's really the big changes that I'm seeing so far. Let's, of course, get some more information. What big changes are coming? If it's unexpected, especially with the Six of Wands, I think it might surprise you how many people are starting to just notice you in more ways than one. You might have been someone who's been in the shadows for a while, who's been kind of like in the back of the classroom, so to speak. Especially with the flags and the lines. Like, all right, you're becoming that lion who's seen by many people. And yeah, since there's a podium too, there could be some sense of public speaking. You might end up being in the public eye. Anything else? Let's take this one. Isn't that interesting? So the one that came face up just now is the Six of Wands. So again, yeah, in this card it's literally blossoming. Anyway, there's literally a blossoming, there's a rose here, or a flower with the wands. This is, yeah, 6. And that was describing the Six of Wands. They just fell right next to each other. So this is probably your main theme. And this is probably what seems so unexpected, is that you've been growing from the inside out. You've been growing and stepping into your power and putting yourself first, and it's been paying off, or it's going to be paying off. This is a timeless reading, of course, and because it's general as well, so I need to keep that in mind. But I also thought of peacock, like sticking your chest out and saying, I'm here, I'm not really hiding in the shadows anymore. What I have to say is valuable. And I feel as though you might have felt like a late bloomer, like a late flower that's everyone else is in that point of their lives where they're doing what they want to be doing, or it seems as though that's the case anyway. It seems as though they're successful, but I feel as though since you've put in that time, again, you've already done most of what this is, putting in the time, and it just feels as though now the thing that's coming up that's a bit unexpected is you're finally getting the recognition for that in the day-to-day world, but also in spiritual, in a spiritual sense. So let's see the other cards. We have the King of Swords, looking forward, and then the Knight of Wands in reverse, which I don't think I'm going to be reading reversals. I'm not doing reversals, actually. And then the Hermit. I've been seeing the Hermit a lot lately. The King of Swords and the Knight of Wands are facing each other. Could be people who are coming in. These energies work nicely together, though, the air and fire, so there could be like collaboration going on. with different perspectives, and I feel as though different perspectives on the same sort of project, if that makes sense. So this could be a work-related thing, but also maybe a hobby. And part of what's going on here with the recognition is that it succeeds. So if you're considering a project, it's there's a strong chance that that'll actually take off. And there's also those two elements of one person having a higher perspective and then another person being a little bit more grounded. Very fast and very still, so two opposite but cooperative energies together, working together. It's like one person has the spark within them to take the action, and the other one has the perspective to direct it. Then with the Hermit here, I'm seeing wisdom, a lot of wisdom, and I think that's part of what the Six of Wands twice again is talking about. Like that, this feels more like a past thing, like that time that you've put in is paying off, of that time that you've taken to yourself and kind of studied, like your inner child, that sort of thing, or just dedicated towards a strong sense of like shadow work here as well. You're starting to realize exactly how much power you have, how much you can do. I'll just show you this Hermit card. Sometimes I don't like working here. But anyway, it's like, feeling a bit more free than before. And the Hermit was also under the Six of Wands. So it's like going from underwater to above water and being seen, while in the background you're doing a lot of navigating your inner world, and that's paying off right now. This could also indicate a time to step out of that energy that you're, going from having been fairly secluded to interacting with people again. So if you haven't had friends, I feel like more friends are coming, and not just friends, but people who align with you. But I would keep that open. I would keep it open as to the type of people you expect to come towards you. So not everyone's going to be on the same spiritual level, but they'll have the same kind of open heart. I'm going to take all these. Okay. So, I'm just going to move this. Describing the King of Swords is scarcity, the Five of Pentacles. And with the Five of Pentacles, I mean, I feel like that's where you're used to being. And I think that because it describes the King of Swords, it might be where they're used to being as well. Kind of moving from that. It also feels as though, because it's the King of Swords, that either you or another partner kind of have that in the back of their mind, especially being the swords. It's like, despite making recognition, being big, I feel, being big, recognized, and finally getting what you deserve as far as lots of strong sense of finances, strong sense of being recognized again, but kind of being rooted in the fact that you didn't always have this. And I think that that's something that's going to play out in the near future as well, is that you're going to try and be humbled just by the fact that it took a lot of growth and it took a lot of work to get to where you are. So kind of moving Not slowly, but respectfully. If you can get these two images, this was the King of Swords. That's the Five of Pentacles. And we'll notice that, I don't know if you can see it like this, but it's as if the bird, the hawk, it's almost the same environment too, because there's snow here and snow here. So there's also the sense of having a spirit guide with you as well, so you could resonate with that, even if there are hard times in the beginning of this big change, and it feels as though nothing's happening. There is movement, there is a watchful eye for you. And then we have the Mother of Feathers, which is the Queen of Wands. So it's like wands and swords are pretty strong here, which is good. It's like these energies are, again, cooperating with one another. I just want to show you, if you remember the Six of Wands. Yeah. So the Queen of Wands is carrying that gold, that recognition, that blossoming. It's like you're wearing your hard work now, and you have to show it off. I think there's a sense of effortlessly. Yeah, the biggest thing here, the biggest unexpected surprise, I guess, is how many people are going to notice you and respect you and see you for your spirit. And you're going to kind of have momentum from that. A lot of it feels like work, career, but it's also just in the way you carry yourself. It might not even be a particular area of your life, you know what I'm saying? Like complete strangers notice you and look at you a certain way. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. That being said, we have the Seven of Cups, which is very different in this deck. It's usually like having a lot of options, and that's how I'm going to read it, but it also says breach. Water coming through, so I'd be mindful as more people get exposed to you, more people come in towards you, to have good boundaries as far as where you dedicate your time, because I feel as though also you in this energy of getting used to giving and receiving, but not everyone's willing to give back, and they just want your energy because they see the flower that you've become. They see, you know, the value that you have, and they just want your time. So that'd be something in the future to just be mindful of. Yeah, that's the main thing I'm getting with a breach, but also that you're gonna have more options, more ways to go about doing what you want to do, especially since the Hermit card, you've put in this work, and that you see the arms here. There's a lot of arms, there's a lot of cups. There's 7 cups and 8 arms, 8 tentacles, so like you have a lot of options, and when you get overwhelmed you can just look within yourself. You already know how to do that by now, I think. And again, this hermit is underwater, so they're very well aware, you're very well aware of how to navigate your emotions. Like, how does this feel to me? Do I enjoy it? Despite what's being shown to me on the outside, shown to you on the outside, which I'm doing this a lot. Conducting? I don't know anyone, but anyway, kind of riding that wave, and despite what might seem pretty and like a good offer, just go with how you feel, and you know that. But just very powerful energy here, really being in charge, really. Whoops. At the bottom of the deck there was the 7 of Pentacles, which showed growth. I moved the cards, that's what I was meant to do, but growth. So 2 7s and 2 6s. 7s being a very spiritual number, 6 being a number of love and like sharing and recognition. So I'm gonna draw. Let's see, a few oracle cards. I know I don't say a lot when I'm shuffling. I work well telepathically, so okay. So we have 2 oracle cards. One is vulnerability. This came up in a different reading today. Interesting imagery now. I think of that in a few different ways. In a few different ways. And that you're gonna be out there now. That's part of the change. You're going to be that flower that's blossomed finally. It feels like finally. Especially if this is a work environment, especially if you're just used to working in the shadows. And I think this vulnerability card fell right next to the 7 of Pentacles. Again, 7 of Pentacles usually meaning lots of options. Sometimes being overwhelmed by the amount of choices that you have. But in this case, with this deck, it's more about setting up proper boundaries, because again, people are going to try to take advantage. And with vulnerability, it's like, I mean, you're protected, but also to be discerning. I mentioned that earlier today as well. I wonder if this person's watching, but it's like, don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to be out there, to be seen by people, because that might have been a fear. You're being watched, but also it's like an ebb and flow of allowing yourself to be and still recognizing when it's a bit much from other people. And then we have Tempest. Very powerful imagery. It's interesting that the triangle's pointing down like waters, but there's also lightning there. Also lightning. Let's see if I can get a card for that Tempest. Like, what's that about? It just feels though you've been in feminine energy for a while, being receptive, doing shadow work, being, I don't want to say passive, but there's nothing wrong with passive. But now this feels like a lot of masculine energy, a lot of actually getting, instead of allowing things to happen, getting things done yourself. That's I think of good things come for those who wait, but faster yet for those who take. We have wealth. This is pretty on the nose, no? Look how vibrant and colorful that is. This is the 10 of Pentacles. So having enough for yourself and a family. And the Wheel of Fortune. So much. Wow, this is a lot. This is a lot. And I think that really puts on the nose that 6 of Wands that I kept emphasizing. Like, you're going to be out there somehow. And that's what this Tempest is. The lightning strikes. The Wheel of Fortune is there. Let's see if I can show all of these, actually. We have 2 10s, so it's really completion here. Really a sense of completion and something that you deserve. And you're going to be attracting a lot. With the Wheel of Fortune, we have the web. So you're going to be that. There's also that sense of that with all of this wealth and all of this recognition and the storm and upheaval that you're bringing, because it's extremely positive. But just be mindful with the Wheel of Fortune. A lot of people are going to notice. A lot of people are going to want some. And while it's nice to be vulnerable and you know you have protection, is to be discerning, not to allow everyone to have your time, and that's part of being balanced as well. Being in this energy, giving where you truly feel you should, but don't feel pressured to give. If someone makes you feel guilty for not giving you time, not giving you energy, that's a big red flag. That's like, okay, guilt is such an ugly emotion to try and evoke in someone else, and that's, I don't know if that's happened in the past for some of you reading this or watching, but that's a big red flag. But overall, extremely, very powerful, very vibrant energy. Tying it back to the kyanite, I feel as though you could communicate your journey. You could communicate what it took in a place of comfort and not desperation. It's very easy speaking, very calm now that you have all that you need and more. That now that you're finally blossoming and being seen, it's not people are, oh, whoa, where did that person come from? Where did you come from? Let me hear your story, and you'll actually be heard. So this is an exciting, big change. Let me know how this resonates, and if you watch it, check back in a few months. Let me know, or even a year. Like, just bookmark it, see where you've gone in a year, and I don't know, see how things turned out. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and sharing. It makes a huge difference, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next pick a card. Take care. Pile 3, if you chose the green calcite, this reading is for you. There we go. Okay, so let's see what big changes, unexpected changes are coming your way. Just keep in mind that this is a general reading, and if you want something a little bit more personal, a little bit more in depth, I do offer private readings. You can see those in the description box below. Okay, so one card did come up. I'm just going to see if there's at least one more. There we go. That was too many. These are very slippery. Maybe you want to do a lot at once. I'll start with the card that came face up. I'm not going to show it to you because they're just, well, there's not really much to see. So this first one is the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. Here it just feels as though it's like a very powerful love, like a very powerful, balanced love. I don't know if there's just a strong sense of community with this one, and it feels as though like you found your tribe, your soul tribe, that sort of thing. People that you truly connect with, something that feels balanced and strong. With the number 8, it's like infinity, a lot of power, equal give and take, communication as well. Although the cups aren't necessarily about communication, it's like you can express your emotions freely without fear of being rejected or left out in the cold. And that might be something that's considered a big change if you've been used to being in an environment where that isn't the case, where you can't express yourself freely, where you can't be silly or whatnot, like allowed to cry without feeling ridiculed. So it's really nice energy for because I know generally you'll see the Eight of Cups and it's a figure moving away, but there's no sense of moving away here. This is more of stepping into a family, what feels like a family. And again, that's a big change, just because it feels as though that's something you haven't had before. Group 1 or Group 3, and then we have the Ace of Wands. Again, not much to show here, but and it's interesting that the Eight of Cups came first, because it feels as though that's kind of what's giving you that Ace of Wands energy of, okay, I have this new light within me. It's kind of like you don't need other people for confirmation, but it does kind of fuel that flame. It's like you all kind of build off of each other to move together. Like there's a new sense of, oh, I'm not completely lost anymore. Let's get some cards to really draw out what's going on here, really find out what big changes are coming. Well, it makes sense that you chose the green calcite though, considering like there's that healing energy, healing heart-centered energy, and in this deck it's literally hearts. I think the healing aspect is having other people understand who you are, and that's something that, again, it's not necessarily rare for most people, but I think when you understand yourself, when you've taken the time to understand yourself, it might be harder to find those who are really on your level, because most people connect on a surface level, and like if you've dug deep, then the expectation's a little different, no? So I have 3 cards here. Let's see. We have the Seven of Wands. Really, Seven of Wands came up. No, I didn't. Never mind. So that wand energy is seeping through. It's really a sense of expression. I do see that sense of defending yourself a little bit, but I feel as though that's something you've already done, is that you fought for yourself, you fought for your own expression, you fought for what you believed in despite other people trying to manipulate you in some way, and I think that it's paying off. I feel as though that's what's bringing you towards your soul tribe, towards friends and coworkers and colleagues who really understand you and are on your level. And it's like that light is shooting up and it's kind of drawing those people in. Getting wings, able to fly freely. Then we have the Elementalist. So this card is all about, and this is the King of Swords, but really this is about mastering all the elements, all the aspects of yourself, your pentacles, your wands, etc. All of those aspects of your waking life and being masterful at it. A very strong sense of, yeah, mastery, but maybe leadership as well when it comes to the Eight of Cups that we spoke about earlier, is kind of being the leader for that and navigating and directing different types of people so that they could work together. Because this is spread equally, so I think that you could see two hearts, and I could see this Elementalist kind of taking those hearts, dividing them up and saying, hey, you're actually really good at this, and then you're actually good at this, and so it's kind of like seeing the value in everybody. And that goes for the friendships and this, not necessarily new project. Well, I heard venture, so maybe, or adventure, I don't know. But seeing the value in everything. There's kind of like this new way of perceiving the world where you can gain something from any given experience. And then we have the Five of Birds, which is the Five of Swords. Some sort of conflict when it comes to big changes. I don't know if this has to do with the partnership that you're currently in. Again, this is upcoming, so it's kind of hard to gauge it. We'll notice that with all of these cards, the wind is present. You can see up there, there's this kind of ever-moving mental energy, but we'll clarify those. Actually, let me see what that Five of Birds is about, because it seems a little out of place, especially when it comes to unexpected changes. But I think what I'm getting is that, like, you're able to mediate conflict fairly well. Could be within your family, within yourself even. Of like, I'm not gonna. Oh, the Vessel. This is the Devil. So I feel as though maybe in the past people have tried to manipulate you into backing one opinion over another. And I think this is a very pretty one. But I could also see how it's like finding the value in conflict. In acknowledging different people's opinions and kind of admiring the fact that they are willing to fight for them. And so when it comes to this card here, the Eight of Cups, which again is going to mean something different in this reading, where it's like with your newfound friendships, you'll be seen as like the mediator. And when there is fighting, I don't get the sense of being bound at all with this Devil card. This is more of like seeing the light in conflict, where other people would see it as something bad. You're like, well, no, and that's part of being the elementalist as well, is a much broader perspective and utilizing other people's strengths and using other people's strengths to compensate for someone else's weaknesses. So there's kind of this like magic going on, but this is important. There's a very strong sense of group energy, that you're the middle, you're the keeper of the flame, and that's going to be what you're stepping into, is being a group leader, a leader of the team. And that's, you know, a big change, because it might be something that's new for you, directing other people. We have the Queen of Wands. Oh, Lord. Okay, so nothing else. I was doing that for a minute, wasn't I? Sorry. So, describing the Seven of wands, we have the Queen of Swords. So there's a King of Swords and a Queen of Swords. And an Ace of Wands. So that's back. Ace of Wands coming in twice, so this is a very big new beginning in action-oriented, taking charge. Being the leader here. And with the Queen of Swords, it's kind of like preventing conflict, drawing the line between these groups of people as well. It's like not allowing them to intervene, to take too much of your energy, too much of your power, too much of your time, while being kind of like, I get justice-y vibes where it's like very neutral perspective, not taking sides on any one given thing. I'll just keep in mind, like, when it comes to big changes, the big changes is like you're going to be leading a group of some kind. You're going to be a leader. Like, and if you already are one, it's going to be in a bigger level with more people. This is just describing like the details of what it feels like is coming. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, people are going to come to you for guidance as that sort of judge, the mediator. And I think that's going to be something that really enhances your power as well. Something that enhances your power, makes you stand out, and gives you more confidence in what you're meant to do. If that was something that you had thought of, pile 3, it's like, what am I supposed to be doing? It's just all of the experiences that you've had in the past have led to what's coming. Then we have the 8 of Swords. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And then we have the 7 of Wands. Look at all these wands looking up to this one. Again, this is very strong leadership energy. We have the Ace of Wands twice. We have the Seven of Wands twice. We have a King of Swords and a Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of compounding, and it's like stacking on top of each other. So there's a lot of momentum here, and I feel, again, we already mentioned the 8 of Swords, a complete opposite to the 8 of Cups that I saw earlier. So I think at heart, this group is in the same place. They're in the same, they have the same, they're good people, but their mindset, their approach as to how things should actually play out is very different. And that's where you come in. You're the mediator. You're the one who sees above all the mental clutter and arguments and all of this. You're like, hey, we're still a team after all of this. And I think this whole experience is going to bring a lot of respect towards you. People are going to recognize you as, I don't even know what to do with that, as a formidable leader who communicates very well. Oh wow, look at that. I just said who communicates very well, and then we have you see this? Oh, it's not showing. I'm still working with this camera. Anyway, I'll show you in a sec. Let's see if there's another card. But it says speak truth. So you have King of Swords, Queen of Swords, 8 of Swords. Your truth is very valuable. Look at that. It's like your throat chakra is opening up. You're becoming the leader, very discerning, and able to see through other people's lies and deception, especially vocal, you know, just because it was said out loud doesn't make it true. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's also a big one, is that your throat chakra's really opening up, and you got the strength card. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to manipulate this camera a bit. It's not always working. Come on. Sorry. Anyway, it's a strength card. Very strong roots, so maybe with all of this wind energy, it's saying to stay grounded. It's funny, I keep seeing this thing. There we go. To stay grounded. There's a lot going on here. But yeah, with all the wind energy going on, then we have power right underneath that. Underneath the deck is power. And I want to remind you that the Ace of Wands came up twice, so this is really, you're really stepping into your power. You're really being seen as a leader. You're really being asked to vocalize not only your perspective, but your perspective, your viewpoint, because it's very neutral and something to be respected. So I think that's a nice big change, is that you're actually going to be heard. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the reading with that. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know how I did. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. It makes a huge difference, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.